Alright, Aquarius, welcome to your Wheel of the Year 2020 Guide to Planetary Retrograde. This is going to be going over the 8 turns of the pagan calendar, starting with Yule on December 21st this year, going around to Samhain, or the Witches' New Year's, or Halloween, however you celebrate it, and on October 31st. And I'm going to be going through the 8 turns of the wheel and all the retrograding planets that are going to be happening in between each of the turns. The bottom cards are one force that is guiding you, and the top cards are the underlying aspects that are affecting you, or could be affecting you if you allow them to. Remember, these timelines are always as dramatic as you want to make them. It's always dramatic as you want it to be. It all depends on whether you're wanting to do the work or not to do what you need to do. Now, at the end of your readings last year for the 2019 Wheel of the Year and the Summer Solstice Update, I showed that you were coming into October and into the Yule season with a whole bunch of success and fortune and looking forward to the future. You've been rewarded for a lot of your efforts. The undertow for that was you felt you were in danger of putting on a mask again, a mask that makes you feel a little restrictive. Kind of like putting on an act or putting on a front. And that's an emotional aspect that's playing into it. Because everything around you looks really good with the success and the rewards and everything else. A lot of times, a lot of the rewards you get in end up being more of a burden than you thought they would be, and you're having to put on a mask so that it doesn't look like it's weighing on you at all. So, going into Yule, December 21st, I see a celebration of generations, especially generations of women. Some kind of celebrations coming into the holiday season here. But I also see the undertow of this is an undertow of discontent. So for all the celebrating, for some reason you're not feeling it. You're unable to find words to resolve what the discontentment is. So it's kind of this thing in the back of your mind that keeps popping up. Well, like everything around you is great, but then you look around and then all of a sudden this little thought creeps up of, why can't I resolve this one little thing? And just be mindful of that when you're going into the holiday seasons. Be present with who you are with. Don't dwell on those negative thought patterns in the back of your mind. Be present with the people you're with. Be in the celebration. And don't make it an act. Genuinely be in the celebration. Going from December 21st to Imbolc February 2nd, in between here, we're going to have Uranus going direct on January 20th. This is going direct in Taurus. And this is going to be a lot of accepting of the new order of things, accepting new changes, accepting who people are as they are beyond any illusionments or anything else like that. Really accepting things. That's the big message that Uranus is bringing in January, is acceptance and going with the new order of things. Now going into Imbolc on February 2nd, here you go, 10 of Cups, happy, fulfilled home life, satisfaction, all the good stuff is all around you. It's a full-on reflective circle here of your surroundings, reflecting exactly what you dream or what you dreamed of, is all just reflecting around you. This is everything that you asked for. But still the undertow of not being able to find the words to resolve it. Where this is kind of accepting of the truth of a situation that's disappointing, but it's still disappointing and it's still unable to figure out why you can't just let that go. So that's still an undercurrent that you're pulling along with you. I know you guys are, I'm a Leo rising, so you guys are kind of like a polar opposite for that. And I know what it's like to have a dwelling thought pattern in the back of your mind that you keep going, there's no point in thinking about that. Why do you keep thinking about that kind of energy? So just be mindful if that's something that you're toting around. Don't let that distract you from all this beauty reflecting around you. Going from Imbolc in February to Ostara March 20th, we have Mercury going retrograde in Pisces to Aquarius and then back to Pisces again. This is going to be from February 17th to March 10th. And this is going to be a time to reorganize priorities around emotions you can't find the words for. You struggle to communicate. Emotions you struggle to communicate. This is what this Mercury, first Mercury retrograde is going to be. And it's going to be a time that you need to reorganize your priorities, and you're struggling to explain to some people why it is you're prioritizing certain things the way you are, and they are not understanding why they're not fitting higher in those priority lists, or why they are higher and they feel that something else should be higher on your list. And it's going to be you trying to communicate why you're doing things the way that you do. Y'all like to be able to be expressive, and you like to be able to express what it is that you're doing, and you expect people to understand because you're so enlightened. But we tend to forget that other people might not understand it the way that you do, and that'll cause a little bit of turmoil in your communications. So going into Ostara, this is the end of the shadow phase of that retrograde. End of the shadow phase of a retrograde, so don't rush to get upset about cards here. This is concentrating on a problem. This is the problem that was highlighted during that Mercury retrograde. This is some kind of disillusionment that you're having. Things were not what they thought you would be. You done spilt 3 cups. You can't even look to see that you still have 2 cups there. You can't even look to see that the mountains and the stars, and you're just looking back at these spilt cups like, why can't I stop looking at those spilled cups? Why can't I see the beauty around me and the 2 cups in front of me? Why am I stuck on this? And wondering why you're stuck on it is putting out the frequency that has you stuck on it. I know, it's this big catch-22. But with this card, with your cups kind of a-spilling there, I see generosity. Like, you're still very generous, and you're handling your generosity wisely. You're being wise about who you're spending your time on and who you're spending your money on, and you're guarding your finances, and you're working. I see this being covered up with you working now to make sure, like, your focus will be on your money and what you can be to be generous in other places, and trying to use generosity to kind of negate this energy. Okay? So just be mindful that you don't give away too much of yourself or too much of your money when that energy, when you start to hit that little bit of a wobble. Going from Ostara on March 20th to Beltane on May 1st, we have Pluto going retrograde in Capricorn on April 25th. And this is going to feel like certain little things, like business-related things especially, will be burning to the ground. This will be little things that you thought were efficient, actually weren't, and the universe is going to just burn that to the ground so that you have to find a new efficient way of doing things. That's what the Pluto retrograde brings. It's not so far away, it doesn't bring a huge wave. It's a subtle thing. It's a subtle thing that makes you move things around so that you can move more efficiently. So be mindful that that's what's happening, and don't dwell when something goes bad, or something that you were doing a certain way. Your car, it's not getting you to work anymore. You need a new car, and you've been putting it off. This is the time that's going to all start coming into play. So just be mindful of that when that comes around. Now going into Beltane, I see a accumulation of business plans, prosperity, the expansive energy here. This is filled to the rims now. This is all set up. Now I can expand out more. So this is an expansion card. Like I said, I see business as being a heavy, heavy influencer for everybody this year. Jupiter is going into Capricorn, and it's going to be there for several years. So this is going to be a lot of business stuff that people are going to be able to do over the next couple of years if they're wisely using the energy. And I see you very wisely using that energy here to create this steady foundation that you can expand on when it comes to your business and finances. Now, with all this success and just all this success coming in, I still see this perfect surroundings, but still disappointed for some reason. It's still uneven. There's still something uneven. Why aren't you happy if you have all this? This is everything you asked for, so why aren't you happy with this? I had the same problem with Virgo. I will admit I have no air in my sign, in my chart, like at all. I have zero air in my chart. So I have a hard time understanding why you guys hide certain emotions and drag them around with you, because I'm extremely vocal as an Aries. I don't do that at all. If I feel something, I tell people, and you guys don't really do that. So if you never let anybody know why you're unhappy, then how can anybody adjust to make you happy? You know, because people do. So just be aware that this isn't just a working your butt off to get all this prosperity to turn around, and there's just this disconnection to what it is you're building, because it's still something about it that's still disappointed. The dream is not perfect. It's not aligned. It's not everything that you said you wanted. It's all this is what you wanted, but why isn't this energy carrying over to here? Why aren't you satisfied with your 10 cups? Well, 10 is also the accumulation of a cycle too. So this could be an accumulation of 2 major cycles that you've been running. And that's why your comfort zone's getting ready to shift again. So now in between May 1st and midsummer in June, we got 4 retrogrades going on. We got Jupiter in retrograde in Capricorn on May 14th. This is going to be a time to examine old philosophies, the old traditional way of doing things. This is going to be a time to take everything that you were taught and then measure it up to your intuition. So you guys are knowledge seekers. That's the similarity between the Leo and the Aquarian there, is they're both knowledge seekers. They both like to figure shit out. They both like to understand why things work the way they do. And this is a time where you're going to be examining all of these things you've learned and then measuring them up to your actual, what your intuition tells you, and then see areas in your life where you're running a cycling program that you were trained into instead of actually following your intuition. And this will be where you're going to be questioning that. Saturn goes retrograde in Aquarius to Capricorn, back to Aquarius. So this is a lot of enlightenment on business areas. But how do retrogrades enlighten you? By giving you trials to face, by teaching you lessons. So I'm telling everybody that Saturn, even though it's retrograding in your sign, if you've been genuinely doing the work that you were meant to do and genuinely following your intuition, Saturn is not going to really disrupt you at all. But if you've been cutting corners in the universe, if you've been trying to find other people to do your work for you, if you have been avoiding doing the emotional inner work, if you've been avoiding anything or cutting corners anywhere, Saturn is going to blow that up for you. They're going to blow it up so that you are forced to face what it is you need to do and what is all actually your responsibility to do. Then we've got Venus going retrograde in Pisces on May 13th to June 5th. So this is in between these 2 cards here. And this is your basic summer, temptations going into summer. Temptations are going to be high and willpower will be weak because the temptations are going to be that good. But now if you know temptations are coming, then you can give yourself a boost of willpower to avoid them. That's how you navigate those kind of retrogrades. Don't shift your focus to somebody else. Do not do anything like that that will just feed that retrograding energy, and it will teach you whatever cycle that you are trying to avoid. If you actually look at it and you see it and you give yourself some willpower to get through it, you will be all right. Then Mercury goes retrograde in Cancer, and that's going to be all on June 8th, that starts. And that's all going to be, don't get distracted by past loves. Don't get distracted by it. Don't let them distract you from what you're trying to accomplish. Especially if it's this inner work that you're trying to do and they're just stirring crap up and they're not really helping you resolve anything, then what's the point of talking to them if you're not resolving anything? Some things you're just going to have to let go. Don't let them distract you from the path that you're walking. Now, by June 21st, I see you ready to receive some new rewards, new projects or new relationships or a new business partnership or something along those lines that you've been working towards. I see you getting ready. You're seeing progress made and you're getting ready to receive these rewards. Now, with that, I see a very persistent energy to stabilize. You're checking all your details and you're being very observant of everything, and you are just got this persistence to keep your surroundings stabilized around you. That's your big thing coming into midsummer. That's how you're going to get yourself through these retrogrades with the X's and Mercury and Venus and all this other stuff and all this other turmoil. How you're going to get yourself through that is you're going to be very persistent to keep your surroundings stabilized. So going from midsummer to Lunasa, we have Neptune going retrograde in Pisces again. This is on the 23rd. And this is shattering illusions and fears and phobias coming to the surface. This is going to be those people that you've always been like, they're going to show you their true colors. They're going to show you their true colors. They're going to prove to you that your intuition was right. And they're going to shatter some illusions. This is all about people showing you their true colors. I've always said when somebody's mad at you and they tell you what they're capable of, listen. If they tell you and show you what they're capable of when they're really angry, listen to that. That is their true shadow showing. And that response later, after it's all said and done with the boo-hoo-hooies and the passive-aggressive, why you made them so mad and da-da-da-da-da, and it's all your fault they got mad and da-da. That's the ego coming in, trying to put a Band-Aid over the situation now that they've already shown themselves to be ugly and they try to even it out. So just be aware of those shattered illusions going into August 1st for Lunasa. Because for you, after that's all said and done, I see messages bringing business opportunities. All this business work that you're doing is just continuing to pay off. So some people say it's not good to use work to hide your emotions and your feelings and whatnot, but in this case, it seems to be really paying off for you guys. I'm not sure how good it is for your mental health, but around you, around your surroundings, I see you bringing in a lot of business opportunities and more of this expansion. This energy is expanding on this end. All these retrogrades happen and then you're back here and all these people, because everybody's dealing with the retrograde waves. So even your business partners and stuff that you've been trying to work with, they're dealing with their own shit too. So don't be too hasty with them. Give them a minute to catch up with you, because they are going to, and they're going to bring you a lot of business opportunities and expansion ideas and partnerships and things along those lines. Now, with all this business work and using it to distract yourself from doing emotional work, I see that someone around you, by the time this rolls around, is feeling a little neglected with all this work going on, with all this communications going on, with all these work partners and being busy all the time, making plans over here and doing meetings over there and blah, 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 and building all this up. I see somebody could be in the background feeling neglected because they're not getting any attention, or they're not getting the amount of attention that they feel they deserve. This is going to be also the after effect of when you reorganize your priorities. You're going to put your work over a relationship for a little while out of necessity, but that's still going to hurt the relationship. So just make sure that no matter how busy you get, you're sending some love to the people that are not business related around you. And you're not back-burnering people for your business. Okay? And then going from Lunasa on August 1st to Maboon September 22nd, we got Mars going retrograde in Aries. okay, on September 3rd. And this is all going to be, as an Aries, this is how it works. You see something and you're going to get laser focused on it, right? And you're going to want to take off running for it right away, and you're not going to watch your feet, and you're going to trip, and you're going to stumble, and you're going to bust your face on something. That's just the energy of Aries. This is also the energy of Mars. It's going to make you want to feel like you need to battle through. Don't. Take your time, slow down, be assertive but not aggressive, and make sure every step you take, you are firmly landing each foot on solid ground as you take your steps. Don't run off, don't jet straight forward, don't forget to pay attention to things around you so you don't get blindsided by stuff, and don't forget to watch your feet. Now for Maboon, September 22nd, I see you using words and your intellect to bring calm to a situation. This is a mastery of words in order to defuse a tense situation. So this will be along with that Mars compatible Aries energy in retrograde there. I see you using all your enlightenment and all your extensive vocabularies to diffuse situations in a way that are not that don't add to the conflict. They can be sharp, but this is the personification of assertive but not aggressive. Now, with you being assertive but not aggressive, this is coming because you feel a need to defend yourself. You feel like a lot of people are coming at you with sticks, and you're using your words to diffuse the situation rather than waving a stick around and trying to battle them off with this stick too, which is what the traditional deck would have for this card. It'd be somebody standing with a stick with a bunch of sticks coming at them. They're just waving it around wildly trying to defend themselves. You're not going to do that. You're going to take this energy and you're going to use your words to diffuse it. Going from Maboon on September 22nd into Samhain October 31st, which is New Year's or Halloween, we have our third Mercury retrograde. Now this one I see being the hardest one because this is some rough energies. This is going to be going from Scorpio to Libra and back to Scorpio again. So this is going to be, and you guys seem to be doing this, that bottled up gooey center with a hard shell with pinchers and a stinger on top to make sure that nobody gets into that hard gooey center or sees any of those soft spots. So it's going to go from that energy to the Libra energy, which is an air energy, which is very much in you guys' wheelhouse. And that's going to be the I can't stop telling you how I feel. I need to get this all out. This is all stuff that's bottled up. This is all stuff that is going to want to just come flowing out. And you're going to want to use all the words to explain it and all the words to try to just tell everybody how you really feel. And then it's going to go right back into the Scorpio bottled up gooey center, hidden off with a stinger on the end, and you can be in danger of getting into defensive mode. And remember that everybody is dealing with these retrogrades, so that understand that they're feeling the same way too. So if you're both feeling defensive with your stingers out, nobody's going to accomplish anything. So someone has to recognize that that's what's happening. And since you're so good with your words, I see you really being able to just go ahead and use your words to defend yourself and not stinging as hard anymore. So going into Samhain, I see an innocence around you that is protecting you. This is a trust in new beginnings. This is the Fool card, but this is also the surrender to your path card. A lot of people call it the leap of faith. This is just trust that the universe knows what it was doing. And it did all of this on purpose for you. Whatever trials 2020 is bringing, whatever the retrogrades bring that are meant to make you reevaluate things, by the time you get into October, you are in a renewed trust in your path. And I also see you back at, not the Ten of Cups, but you're at the Nine of Cups, which means you're open to just the path, and you are open and satisfied with your 9 cups, and you're ready to see what the 10th cup's going to be this time. It's always a cycle. It's always a spiral up, and you always spiral back around to the same place you were before from a new, higher perspective. And I see for it, all of this, and by the time all of this is done, you are going to be able to resolve this inner emotional turmoil that you've been bottling in the background. You've been trying to tinker with and trying to figure out what it is and trying to get it to work right for you. I see you being very finally satisfied for the information that you were longing for. And then right after that, Mars goes direct in Aries, and that's going to be bringing a lot of confidence in your footing. You are prepared. You have spent a lot of time at base camp getting ready to start climbing, and now you have acclimated to the new altitude, and you are ready to start climbing those new paths. And for your oracle card, this is opening yourself to the nurturing energy of Mother Earth. This is nurturing yourself. This is being open to allowing others to nurture you. This is all about the divine feminine earth energy longing to help you heal and longing to give you love. Anytime you feel super overwhelmed, all you have to do is go outside to find her. She is in every tree, every flower, every bird, every butterfly, every feather you find on the ground. That is all the divine feminine earth energy trying to show you love. And all you have to do is be open to receive it. So when you find yourself in dark places, don't be afraid to turn to the beauty of nature to help you ground yourself back into a positive headspace. Okay, Aquarius, that's your Wheel of the Year 2020 Guide to Planetary Retrogrades. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, please like, subscribe, share, all that fun stuff. And I'll leave a link in the description below for our Facebook group where I do more cards and coffees and free readings, and we do Reiki healings, and there's lots of fun articles and all that good jazz over there. And I'll talk to you guys later.